proud, driven. I'm working my way to the top to doing this shit for a living. If you want that money, be double O. And if you want that trophy, take double O. And if you want to be a winner, be double O. And if you want to be a champ, take double O. Be double O, take double O. Be double O.
What's up, everybody? We are back at the BE00TAKE00 show. We are not live. This is a pre-tape, but if you're watching, thank you for joining us. We appreciate y'all listening in. I am your host, PJ North, with the better host, Tyler Bohannon. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate you. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, don't forget to hit that follow button. Leave a review. Let us know. And comment. Like I said, share with your friends. Don't forget to tag us on socials and follow us at the PJ North and at Tyler3678. All right, that's my pre-show spiel when we're not live, baby. What's up, Tebow? How are you, baby?
I'm good. I get to go racing this week. I did the radio race this weekend.
Yeah.
It was badass. I mean, I was super proud of the product.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work.
Dude, y'all were for a lot of no prep shit. It's a lot of prep, a lot of work.
I mean, I can't even keep up with how much glue we use now, but we decided to scrape the 8th mile and you had to wait for the weather to stop. So
right, yeah.
Once the rain finally got out Friday, it was by the time the track dried up enough to start scraping on it. In my opinion, I don't know, maybe you can scrape in the rain. I'm still learning things.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can either.
To.
I don't know.
How are you gonna keep the fire lit if it's raining on it?
Well, I guess if the track was wet but the rain stopped, maybe.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because you're ripping it up anyways. I don't know, but I decided to wait, and it was 2:00 in the morning, and just started hammering down. So, got done about 11. I did 44 hours at US 60.
Man, US 60's got pot committed Tebow on it. I'm telling you, when Tebow is on to something, buddy, he is. It is the Tebow.
I gotta be in.
It's all in or all out. I'm with you, baby. Yeah. I'm full tilt. I get it. Yeah, man. I saw that you guys had. Was there a lot of cool cars? Obviously, I saw the winner circle posted at 4 a.m. So
yeah, we didn't. I mean, that type of racing with the track.
Yeah.
The way that we're doing the track. The problem is it's 80 degrees outside. So when you start gluing, the sun's out. You keep gluing. Your chances are very high of that shit coming right back up.
Yeah.
So, you do most of your racing in the dark anyways, the track held up the best that it has since we've been racing on radials and stuff. And so you do most of it at night, but it's just a slower process. We ran the finals at 3:30 Central or 2:30 or 3 Central time.
Okay.
So, I mean, it is what it is. You just kind of know.
No, I mean, I don't care. I just wondered. Yeah, I knew it was a late night. I mean, we're just accustomed to it.
I got home at 5:30.
We are accustomed to late nights. It's the hits don't stop coming. But yeah, it sounded like it's good. Obviously, you get a week off now. I was trying to think. Do you have a week off? Everybody's off. The racetrack's closed, or they got something else?
Yeah, the racetrack's other than Thursday.
Okay, see, I figured it out. I was like, damn, that's weird that they're closing. Then I realized Shelby and Chris taking that boat out.
Oh yeah,
that's right. There it is.
Actually, TV Promotions, we did a solid. Shelby was trying to get me and Megan to go out with them on the boat for either this holiday or July 4th.
Yeah,
and Shelby's big mad that we got to be at Bowling Green.
Tebow, right? Yeah, she's smart about it though, man. There's a million racetracks doing a million different things. Take a week off for yourself. You know what I mean? I get it.
We talked about it, and it's funny because a lot of racetracks did the same thing this year.
Yeah,
but every year, it seems like there's 55 races on Memorial Day weekend, and nobody can get the car a great car count because there's too many other tracks doing it.
Especially because it's all those specific groups. It's not like you're not doing it for your locals. You're doing it to try to pull in a bunch of people. So
it's a couple of $5,000s or something like that. Yeah. Everybody got a couple of $5,000s or something.
But yeah, man, Memorial Day week. We're going to talk all about it. We'll talk a little bit about this weekend, obviously. Before we do that, bringing you this episode brought to you by Tebow. 20% off all of your merch using code Bohannon20 at checkout for Fuel Factory merch, man, at fuelfactoryusa.com. They've got a ton of shirts, clothes, sweatshirts, hoodies. They actually have a bunch of super dope hats. that I've
like
seen.
I searched through there, right? Because when they sent me this email with all the stuff in it, I was like, oh, check this out. And the merch is sweet.
They have it's like super. And, I'm obviously super close with Mark Wessler, who's a big part of Fuel Factory. And, when he did the Rusty Pistons thing at first, and I think that's kind of how this landed on the fuel deal. Right now, it's like the best of both of his worlds, right? He knows so much about fuel business, and he's very passionate about the racing merchandise. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, so definitely, like I said, shout out to Fuel Factory. 20% off all your merch using code Bohannon20 at checkout. Visit fuelfactoryusa.com today, and they do a bunch of legacy drops, like I said. So I like a lot of their. I don't have a ton of their stuff, but I am, like I said, a fuel. Like I'm a regular customer, so I purchase fuel. Tyler obviously is a Fuel Factor athlete, which is really cool. So then them having cool merch helps too. I think, like I said, it makes it feel more like branded, because we all used to use VP. This is not like hidden, right? Obviously, right. They have the world's worst, potentially the worst logo in drag racing. Still, I'm like, this is a lot of red, white, and blue. But yeah, visit fuelfactoryusa.com. Bohannon 20% off. Fuel Factory, built for speed. All right, man, let's get into it.
You were talking about Mark though, with the like all the stuff he's involved with or whatever. His wife,
Amanda.
She works with that My Race Pass.
Oh, very cool.
Have you seen that at all? Like, looked into it at all?
I haven't. I mean, I know it exists, but
yes. So this thing, like, it's funny. I had a guy stop by today. I was telling you about the homeowners insurance guy stop by.
Yep.
And the reason I was talking to him is he works at the local circle track.
Oh, sick.
And he's on the committee for the Kentucky Motorsports Hall of Fame. And anyways, we mutual friends and getting to talking.
Yeah.
And he was telling about the circle track and how they use that My Race Pass. And I've looked into it. And I was just like, you started talking about Mark and it made the connection. But the thing is really cool. You can do all your ticketing. It's a time slip app. So
it's got a bunch of different stuff. Is that the thing that's owned by? Are they owned by Racing Junk, or the company that owns Racing Junk?
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's pretty cool, man. I think the more technology and cool shit we get like that, obviously it's such a niche thing, so it might be a big investment. You kind of have to figure those things out. But you have companies like Logan Back's, Go Dead On, and then you have Worldwide Technology. The company, I don't know the company that actually does the time slips. I know that I think he's Canadian. But the time slips thing, I think that's really cool. I know we've talked about this. I think that there's a way that we're going to get to that point where we're going to put those in the Motor Mania feed. We'll have that the tickets up on the screen, which I think would be really, really cool. Potentially, right? The more technology and the more cool shit we have in drag racing and in racing alike. We talked about the iCard thing, so I think that's. I didn't click on the link yet. By the way, I got to go back to that. I know you texted me that. I was sidetracked at work, but
Jeb asked me about it, and he's all in, and I'm like, you didn't know that this was a thing
again,
and he's like, no.
Yeah,
so I searched it on Google, and it came up the DRR. Their website is still active, but I don't know if you can purchase from them. Really? So the article's hilarious to me, because if you read it, it's like this, groundbreaking thing. Yeah. And now I guess I didn't think about it at first, but it was designed for fans in the stands to have real time.
That's the thing is it's the same way that they used to do with NASCAR. You want racing electronic headphones? Yes. They're now you could see that's amazing. But of course, racers being the innovators that they are, racers are like, you fucking think you're gonna get it first? Not today, by God. Can't you just picture Bertozzi? Bertozzi chucks off the sunglasses, right? He's got those racing glasses he always does. As soon as he let goes, he chucks them, and then just picks up the Game Boy to see where he's at.
Got him out.
He's just out here. He's not even looking down the racetrack. Oh, that's incredible. All right, well, let's get into the headlines. Verge Race number 2 at St. Louis, Worldwide Technology Raceway. Verge came through. We took over. I'm going to highlight the positives. We'll talk a little bit about the negatives, obviously, but the positives, great facility. As simple as that, man. We love Worldwide Technology Raceway. They have a consistent staff. The tracks, they're consistent in what they do. We had 6 4.0 cars, which was really, really cool. We're working towards it. If you're a 4 flat guy and you keep saying you're going to come, but then you go somewhere else, I'm disowning you. I will shit on you always. I don't want to hear any more that you're coming if you're not coming. But John Biaggi, my guy in four flat.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about positive? I'll let everybody here know if you were racing 4.0 thinking about it. I was not there. Yeah. But I can probably I was rooting for John Biaggi, okay? Yeah. My man got the coolest rig. He got the coolest car. He goes 4 flat with a 632. Yeah. And he busted the ass.
Let's talk about the 4 flat, which is very interesting. We had a young kid, Churchill, and I'm blanking on his first name. I apologize. I'm gonna pull it up here while I talk about it. But
Ryan?
What is it?
Was it Ryan? Brian was telling me about it yesterday.
Is it Ryan Churchill? Let me see what it is. Give me one sec. I apologize, Mr. Churchill. I'm going to get it right. Give me 1 second here. Bobby Churchill. Bobby Churchill. So, my guy is getting his license in Super Pro. Okay.
He's testing, not even racing.
Does not have a license. Getting his license, but he had to buy a Super Pro ticket in order to do it. Brian's like, nah, not today. We getting you in, dog. So he talks to the parents, the grandfather, the father. They're a great family. They're awesome, super nice people. And he's like, no, you get it. You just went 410. We could do this.
Yeah,
so he gets him in. Kid gets a comp single first pull. The guy from Arizona blows up. So my guy gets a so he's already in the money, right?
He qualified number 1.
So he goes to let me add that. He goes to the top, 404. Yeah. Okay, or no, 406 was his qualifying. 406. Okay, so he's at the top of the sheet.
Because Biaggi was struggling to get down, right?
It was early in the day. Everybody's like trying to figure it out, right? Yeah, the 4 flat. They're trying to figure out what they got to do here to get the lane. They're not all top dragster guys. So it's not like most of them hadn't maybe not been there. I don't know.
It wasn't as good as when we did it in August last year when everybody did race for half the season.
Exactly. Yeah. We're getting it all figured out. So he goes out there 406. He's number 1 qualifier. Duty gets on the ladder. Comp single, breaks. Can't make the call. So he gets a single. He's on the top of the ladder, gets the bye to the finals. My guy, you couldn't have drawn this up better if you tried. Biaggi can't get down the racetrack. He's in a Spitzer, like 270-inch hardtail deal, but he's got it figured out. First, he can't get down the racetrack really good. Yeah, he's figuring it out. So he starts, first round, my guy goes out there and lifts next to him, and Biaggi gets there by like 8 thou. Okay? So Biaggi, he goes 4/10 above the dial. It's not like it's close, okay? The guy next to him's like, nah, I felt like I could go 399, so I lifted. Okay, got it. So Biaggi wins, gets away with one. Next one, then he gets starting to get closer, right? Second round, he goes like 4, and it was like perfect. Both cars went like 4 fast. They go like 4. I think he went 408 or 409 there, something like that. He laid down a good one. Then in the final, he lays down 4 flat. Hello.
Yes, sir.
I was like, you gotta be. And Churchill just made great top dragster laps every time. Choom, choom, choom. I mean, he was on it. It was great. It was really, really cool, man. We had door cars in there. We had one door car, obviously he broke, but the dragsters were fast. It was awesome, man. I think
Brian was telling me with Churchill, for instance, that he was like, he shows up, like you said, get his license, not even racing. And Brian was like, look, dude, hey, how about I pay for the entry for your Super Pro?
Yeah.
Why don't you just let me and Tyler cover your Super Pro entry? You enter 4 flat. That way Worldwide gets their money. You're not out of it.
Yeah, you're not out any money, and now you entered our race, and you're going to be competitive. You're going to get to race.
Yeah, and he made he won $1,500.
And he won $1,500. It's incredible. It's the most incredible. I mean, honestly, the whole thing was, and man, John Biaggi obviously is a beacon of positivity. He's one of those guys too. So I'd love to see him win. He does the quick 16, everything, man. He does all that a lot, and he was, he wants to keep it around, and we're all making a concerted effort to make 4 flat a thing. We'd love to see more cars, man. If you can go anywhere close to 4 flat, show up. I mean, there's a chance you could make, that's what I don't understand. Like, you're going somewhere else, or maybe not going, or whatever it may be, and and I obviously understand weather, and there's Chicago and all the bullshit, whatever. But a lot of people I think told Brian they were coming, didn't come. I'm not a part of I am a subset of TV promotions. I am a hired contractor, so I can say this. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Put up or shut up. I want to see y'all come to the racetrack and race, because it's the coolest, dude. When they both went they're both going 4.0s there, him and Churchill. Yeah. It's the best show. It's the best show. Y'all got to see it, because we're talking about one nitrous car, one he was blown. He had a blown deal. and Biaggi's nitrous car. We had a Pro Charger. We had 2 Pro Chargers, the Pro Mod car and the Pro. So it's like it's a cool. Yeah. It is the closest thing to top alcohol, like fun-wise, that you're going to see where cars both make it down the racetrack.
And the last time we did it, we had a turbo door car that went 4 flat like 3.
Yeah.
We had a nitrous door car. We've had, and I think that those guys will return once we get back to the area or whatever. Yeah. But to be honest with you, like I'm kind of to the same point with those guys, not class specific, just in general with the Verge deal. Like, buddy, listen, I deal with 1,600 to 2,000 racers a year.
Yeah.
You're not going to hurt my feelings telling me no.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, don't tell me yet. Just tell me no.
Don't tell me you coming,
right? Dog. Yeah, that's where I was like, dang, that sucked. And I understand, like I said, we had some terrible weather go through Kentucky. Maybe have kept some people and thoughts out to that because I know that tore up a lot of shit up, and so I totally get it. I'm really just giving y'all a hard time because, like I said, the 4.0 class, man, is sick. It's really fun. Shout out to Barnscape Builders, who are a part of that and put that thing together, and are big supporters of it. So that was cool. Some other pros, we had Door Car Dragster Final in 470 450 combo, and it was awesome. It was cool as shit. Shout out to Joe Ballard, man. I love that whole team, him and Rick and Pop Ballard. Their crew is awesome.
They're doing pretty well this year.
And Shannon Micheletto.
Yeah, about it?
We had to give her stuff 2 weeks in a row. She stays around and hangs out with us for the Verge race after she was last female standing in one of the races the week before. Really cool, man. And I tell you what, she got the short end of the stick like twice. She pulls up. She's early in the round every time, right? One time she's like, I didn't even want to be early, and she's like first pair out. So she everything worked out. We had a lane issue where 2 of the guys went into lanes for 2 completely separate lanes, and I was like, "What are y'all doing over here? What is happening?" But they were the first in line, and I was like, "Look, I understand. Me and the announcer, me and him were not on the same page all night. We were. He was calling cars in different lanes. Me and him were not on the same page. We're gonna get there though. But either way, man, Shannon Micheletto, she was the winner. It was really cool to see. Joe had Jeremy York in the semis. Mm-hmm. Jeremy York put on an absolute clinic all weekend. He got the win on Sunday.
100% knew when I saw that he was going.
Yeah. Here's what and this is the perfect example. This guy is really, I mean, if you know Jeremy York's trailer is littered with big checks. My guy is a bracket racer, right? But he knows he has figured out like there's other cool shit to do in drag racing. Yeah. He had a door car and a dragster there. So he had the house mouse there and they were getting help. And I was just like, I thought that was awesome, man. We had different winners this time, which is awesome. And we had, obviously, Jason Griswold. He runnered up to Mark Huggett. Not Mark. What am I talking about? Jim Huggett.
Huggett.
Sorry, Jim Huggett. No, it's Huggett, right? Yeah, it's Huggett. I know. Yeah, I did write that. So, and I hope if Jim is listening, I gotta give him a hard time. My guy is local to St. Louis, right?
Hey, my man terrorized him. It sounded like
he was. Huh? My guy is.
I love it.
He is rough on people, and he's having a hard time. He can't get in the gate. He's having a hard time. He's like, I can't believe they don't want to take my money. Da, 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 da. And then he reels off and goes to the final on Sunday. And I was like, you love to see it. It's almost like, hey man, it's all gonna be okay. And he did a great job, and he was. He got it figured out. He was at one point. He's like, I hope they don't put me in the left lane. He couldn't figure it out. And then he moved over like they were telling him to do, and he's right down Broadway. Goes like 471. He's just like, I was like, hey man, when it's your day, baby, it is your day. He got the belt. That was cool too. I don't know who decided to do. I think it was a little bit of Griswold. I know Jeremiah and Mitchell Transmissions had a little bit to do with it too. But they've got a 470 title belt for each race. So the winner of the 470 door car is going to get to carry it to the next race, which is really cool, man. So shout out to the whole thing. Like I said, I thought from just the big car stuff was awesome. I'm going to highlight that. Also, the junior stuff, they were great. The only issue we had was that Worldwide Technology had their junior program at the same time, and we had some guys doubled. I felt so bad. My guy wins, but he has to rerun. And then my guy
it screws up everything.
Yeah,
for like doubles.
Yeah, so he's doubled. Well, then he wins. Then he has to rerun. So now he's stuck in both. My guy is and he wins. My guy gets it done. I just thought it was cool, man. I really enjoyed. Like I said, a lot of the juniors made a concerted effort. Luca Markham ran 890 with his 450 car. First round on Sunday. Something happened. I guess he had something in the fuel the fuel line or something happened, and he hits the gas, car shuts off. And poor Gary, man, Gary Bogacki, unfortunately drives her to the scoreboard. They had him set up a little hot, and he breaks out. Well, Luca obviously doesn't make the run. He just breaks the beams and shuts the car off. Nobody else goes over the index. Everybody goes under, so Luca gets the bye second round.
No.
It was incredible. What? It was incredible. You couldn't have drawn it up any better. I just thought it was great. So shout out to the junior parents, man. I think we're hitting a groove. We've all got an understanding of each other now. And the rules are all written down, which I love. Shout out to Jeb for doing that. We've got a rule book. There's no more confusion. I thought those were really the really good highlights. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people enjoyed it.
And that's the thing. Okay, first off, am I connection okay in here? This building's
not your fault. My screen messed up, so you're good.
Okay, so find me a post from a racer that attended Verge that didn't say that was cool as shit.
Look, dude, I know people that didn't even race our class that messaged us.
Yes, I just don't understand. Everybody that comes to it enjoys it, and it's not I'm not saying that they don't come back because they do.
Yeah.
But it's just wild to me that this, how awesome that me and you and Brian all think it is.
Yeah.
And how cool it is to watch, how cool it is, you want to be a part of it.
It is the definition
much fun they have.
It's the definition of bracket racing meets class racing.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's perfect for everybody. I mean, and listen, it pays $10,000 and that is good enough money to anybody in motorsports except for big money bracket racing.
Right.
So, but when that stuff isn't what it was 5 years ago as far as the amount of time you can go race for 50 and more. And I think this is the perfect mix. It's fun. I tell you, there was a couple of guys that I did see that commented on those posts, and they were I just couldn't get used to letting go and the thing taking off. On a pro treat. Yeah. And I mean I've done it a couple times and it is weird, and I'm sure it's but once again it's part of what makes it cool is that it's just different.
Not only here's my thing too, and I think there's always going to be detractors in anything, and I haven't heard the detractors. No one's ever going to say, they damn sure ain't going to say nothing to me. But Rick Taylor and Mark Horton, Rick Taylor wins the first one, right? So he's well, hell, we're just going to do it now. Now, obviously, they went to Montgomery first and then came up. But, they drove from Florida to make the race. Now, I understand financial situation, whatever. But if you have a 470 car, I really don't think financial situation is your problem. I'll just be honest with you, my guy. If you have a 470 car and you can't travel, you might be doing the wrong. You might need to scale back.
You are doing the wrong thing because there's only, besides us, you can go to a couple of tracks for 5 or 6 chances a year max. That's the thing about that stuff is to me, our series, if we were struggling to get cars in 450, that would be one thing.
Yeah.
But 470 should have 60 or 70 cars at every race because they're not fast enough to run top sportsman.
Right.
They're not slow enough to really go,
and they're not going to bracket race every week.
They're not going to bracket race because most of those guys are doing some kind of wild setup to do it.
Yeah.
This is your option. You know,
and it pays good. You get paid immediately. I mean, shout out to Jason Griswold and his team. They stepped up. Griswold Performance. I think it's Griswold, and maybe it's Griswold Engines. I apologize. Jason, they donated extra to the low qualifier award. I mean, we give away Mark Smith low qualifier. We give away a battery for the ultimate performer. We give away Mitchell Transmit. I mean, everybody's
all the same prizes, if not more than what we do for the TV races. We have as much sponsor dollars and marketing partners and sponsor prizes as the TV races.
That's why I think it's really tough for me. And I'd love to have a conversation with somebody who's a detractor. If you guys know why, obviously I understand travel's a little different. We're going to new places, right? Can't make it to all of them. That's okay. But St. Louis is a premier spot, and it's not far from anybody we race with in Kentucky.
That's kind of my thing. So here's what I'll say: Chicago and Montgomery. Okay.
Yeah.
Montgomery's going to pull I could name 10 guys, no problem, that would have ran 450. Chicago, I can name another 5.
Sure.
So, that takes that car count to
Fair.
55 or 45 or 50.
45, yeah,
That's,
50
that's
almost.
easily. Not complaining about that
Yeah,
at all.
sure.
The 30 that we had, that I was thinking, okay, new venue, all the other racing, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But like I said, the 20, the 19 or 20 or 21 and 470, which once again, there's a couple of those guys that would have ran 450 that didn't, obviously, that would fall in 470 as well.
Yep.
But like, whatever.
I would just love to have that conversation, like I said, because I think, like I said, these tracks are really cool. We're going to cool facilities, but you're not going to see a series like this that puts that much emphasis on the marketing partners, on the things that we give back to, the things like those just don't. That
for a small series,
you know how much effort it goes into that. And like I said, the real thing is I don't care about the detractors really. What I want to do is everyone's always like, oh man, they talk about the haters. What I really want to talk about is the people that did support, man. Again, the guys that always come. Shout out to y'all, dude. Shout out to Bull Baker, who came. He did just come for one day.
I didn't get to. I have not seen all the details.
Shout out to Bull Baker. He made the effort and came. Again,
and we got into it at London last year. Me and him did, But so my man drove to St. Louis.
Yeah, so I think, like I said, I would love to see more of it. That's really my main thing. That's all I really want to talk about.
I'll stop after this. But like 4-0 guys. Okay, we just told you like this is the second race of the year. This is the second race of the year.
Yep.
Okay. Like, and a lot of the guys, I think for all the guys in the field this time, it might have been their first race of the year.
All of them, not a single one was at saturated.
Right,
all new people.
And so I have as many different racers in 4 flat. Like I have 10 less unique racers in 4 flat than we do in 470 right now.
Yeah,
which is wild. But what did you say number one qualifier was? Like it's 600s, 406 or something?
Yeah, he went for it. He could go faster, but he was really going like 404, 406. Yeah.
Okay, so if you could get closer than 600s to the index, it was Mark Smith pays $500.
Yeah, low qualifier
for 4 flat.
It's like that guy. So hold on, that's the crazy thing. Now I totally skipped that part. So not only is this kid's first race, he's number one qualifier, gets paid. So he's already doubled his entry fee. Doubled his entry fee almost, right? I think it's $350 to enter, but so he got $500. So he nearly doubles. Then he gets I mean, you're talking about $1,850, and the kid was making license passes, my guy.
He showed up, and he made his first run down the racetrack in the field. He made money when he showed up to make license runs.
You gotta. I mean, honestly, guys, I think I would love for. I just would love to have. I know that this works. I know it does, and I know we're gonna get. There's gonna be a ton at Bowling Green, and I get that.
There's not gonna be another. There's not gonna be another series like this. Okay, like all this stuff we've been talking about with IHRA and all that. Like that's a different deal. Okay, like even if IHRA, like once IHRA works, or if or whatever happens with IHRA, that's still not gonna be what this is.
Right.
And
yeah, man. I think
they're gonna find this again.
Right. Yeah, so like I said, shout out to the guys that always do support. Like I said, there's a ton that always and they bring multiple cars. Sure. The Jamisons bring 3 cars. The Wiggins bring 3 cars. The
Ballards, like you've been talking
Ballard's always there. I mean, he missed the first one because his motor wasn't done or the car wasn't. His car's at Trust. Mark Bowman comes and support. Ellsworth, he wasn't even racing and he came.
Right.
Came and hung out. The dragster side too, man. Shout out to the dragster guys that made it happen. We got down to, I'll tell you this funny story and then we'll be done. But we get down to the 450 semifinals, and my guy, Mr. Douglas, his starter solenoid comes off. So I got to hold the solenoid on so he can start it, and then we put the panel back. I was like, damn, we out here really making an effort. But yeah, man, I'm just really thankful, like I said, to the guys that did come. We enjoyed it. The juniors, you guys did a great job. Everybody was on the same page. There was an incident that I don't know the details, but it's a wild. If y'all do know the details, please somebody message us. But that was on the St. Louis side, not our side, so we're good.
Oh, it won't know.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, shout out to Case and Martin. Chloe Martin, his little sister, she took home 1190. Jack Bogacki won 1390, and Avery Bolding, she won 790. Who won 790 on Sunday? Sunday. Oh, Aaron Martin. Aaron Martin came, and he's from Mount Sterling, I think, Kentucky. Cohen Reed won 890, and yeah, man, it was pretty good. We enjoyed it thoroughly. Like I said, great time was had by all. And that's the other thing too. Anybody worried about Sunday and all the drive? I left the racetrack at 6:00. So
Jeb, who was there by himself to like clean up and tear down and put away, was home by 2 a.m. and he like Brian left him. Okay, right. He was solo to tear down and still made it home by 2.
Yeah, so I think like I said, our our little squad that we had, we enjoyed it. And so, yeah, Verge, hopefully. We'll talk about race number 3 coming up in Montgomery the first weekend in June. The first full weekend in June. So I think it's the 7th, 8th, and 9th, or 6th, 7th, 8th, one of the two. We'll talk about that in a few weeks. So if you're listening and you feel guilty, like I guilted you, you should, because Montgomery ain't that far either. It's going to be awesome. So, all right, let's talk about NHRA in Chicago. And let's just, look.
Break it off, baby. Donna Morris, okay? let me make sure everybody hears this. In case you forgot, I've been saying this for my entire life. There ain't a female in this country that can do it better, period, at what she does.
Got her first national event win. Donna Morris, in all odds against her, too. Like, look, man, she knows she can't race at night. Obviously, I know she had eye issues previously. She's diabetic just like I am. I mean, she going through all the... Got her.
Okay, like, she has, like... I know I think it's just one eye. Like,
she had some degenerative eye. Yeah. And she got it done. She don't care.
Going 1060s, right?
Super stock K automatic, right?
Yep, we got one eye. We do it going 1060s, and her average was better than any average that I've
her only miss, and this is crazy. She beats Logan Bellinger first round. She's 40. She's 40. That's her worst bulb.
I'm in. Hey, I take that all day. She's what, like teen 20 the last 3 years?
Yeah, I think she's 19, 1. What was she in the final? 21 maybe? 27 in the final? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty crazy, man. Donna Morris, shout out to them. Obviously, that whole clan of Morrises, there's like 37 of them. They run the combo at BG in Ohio Valley. I mean, they've been doing it a long time in Novas. But they're a great family. And shout out to Donna, man. She deserves it. I love to see that.
She's 40 and 100th under.
Yep.
19 and 3 over.
Yep.
22 and 100th and a half under.
Yep.
1 dead 3.
1 dead.
34 dead 6 and 27 and 2 over.
You love to see
I know, like, you big money bracket racers listening to this, I know that's not like what your all's tickets say, except she was 4 total one of those runs.
Right.
That's going to win 9 out of 10 races that she shows up to. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be good laps.
That was 3 days.
That's the thing. She's making them beat her, right? And that's 3 days, crazy weather, all types of shit that they had to deal with.
Yeah,
that was wild. Shout out to Donna Morris, man. Really, really happy for her.
And Troy Galbraith too, who runnered up. Like,
Galbraith in a modified car. That had to have been tough for him too. He's in that. I don't know what modified car he's in.
It's a Chevy too, also.
Chevy too. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All Chevy
TC,
2 times in there.
Yeah, and I know, like, and Donna will say it. She for sure. I'm sure she did in her interview, but. That's the car that Dan Steed crashed at Bowling Green a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And TC redid it.
They just got it done this year. I talked to
really nice.
At Indy.
Really
I talked to TC at Indy, man. It was really cool. But yeah, just great shit, man. I love to see that. I love to see that.
Just it's like my dad mentioned it to me, because like forever I've been saying, like, she's just good at this. She don't care. She's like Kayla, my sister. She wants to go and be like, she's just happy to be there.
She loves the racetrack.
She likes making runs.
Yeah.
But she is not a good draw.
No, you do not want to race, because what she knows with the cars. She's going to be close. You're going to have to get inside that. They're going to make a run, and you got to try to beat that. That's what it boils down to, right? So, Marion Stevenson won stock. I think Jeff Chaney, and then maybe Dave Dahlem, runner. Yeah, Dave Dahlem won Super Gas.
Jeff Dahlem is. I've noticed he beat Nathan Prose, which that's 2 whole stories there. But Dave Dahlem, I know he's won Chicago. I've watched him win Chicago twice, but I feel like he's won Chicago 3 or 4 times.
Another guy you don't want to get. Yeah, another guy you don't want to get. It's like Mark Buttram at St. Louis. Yeah. You don't want to get it. You don't want to go in the lane.
I don't know what it is. The year runner up in this car, she runner up to the Chicago National team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Nathan Prose, he runnered up Super Gas too from Dave.
Yep.
3 races.
We're gonna look at his number. We're gonna look at after when we talk about this next thing. I'll look up at his numbers. The other highlight before we go into the details: Tom Bailey.
Yeah. What was that? 263
in a full-bodied steel car
that he drives, like Ken.
That he drove to the racetrack.
Sick.
I don't know if he actually drove this one to the racetrack, but he can.
It's
a streetcar shootout. Peak streetcar shootout.
It's his drag and drive car that he runs the drag week with.
I just don't. That number to me was That was wild. That was awesome. I thought it was
I
really
guess
cool.
I haven't kept up with it in a while, I guess.
I don't
but
either,
I can
but
remember being at Indy when Brad Personette
Okay.
had he had the twin turbo pro mod that was Big Stuff sponsored.
Oh,
and
yeah. Okay.
He set the world on fire at like 252 or 254.
Okay.
And that had to be 15 years ago minimum.
Okay.
So like that's like that held up for a long time.
That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is just wild. I was like,
and
damn,
then
that's
this guy
nuts.
drives it in and outruns it by whatever 8 mile an hour.
And then obviously, the dust storm is what took over the internet. That was pretty wild. Yeah, I thought that was crazy. I was like, what the hell is happening here? But anyways, yeah, so Chicago. But back to your point now, talk about the Nathan Prost thing. I apologize.
No, that's I actually went and looked at his numbers.
Yeah, he has 3 claims. He has 3 claims in Supergas.
2 wins and a runner-up. 2 divisional wins.
Does everyone understand that?
Yeah, that's 284 for 3 races. Puts him in the top 10 against guys that have 6 and 7 races on the year.
He's 294 with 3 claims. The guy above him is 299 with 5. Parsons with 7. Giacconi with 7. Jeff Jensen with 8. Boehner with 7. Everybody above him has like 3 more races than him minimum. My guy's done nothing but put it in the finals.
No, ain't missed. Ain't missed. And that's after he won the last race he went to last year.
I would say, I mean, if smart money, he shows up. Let's just say he shows up to the rest of them and loses average second round. So that's 40 points. Let's just say he averages 40 points the rest of the time for his claims. And let's say he claims out. What's he going to end up with?
484, and that's going to be top 20.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if he just shows up to them and loses second round on average, 484
Don't
will
get
put
me
him
wrong.
in second place right now. I'm just throwing that out.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're saying like get him in range with those guys. Right. Now, I will say, the years that I finished top 10, 7th and 3rd was like the last 2 that I remember. I had 3 finals both of those years.
Yeah.
But like they weren't the first 3 races of the year that I went to.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he could go on a downhill slide, I get that. But like that's a pretty impressive number early on.
Especially that he won the last race of the last year.
Yeah.
Goes all winner and still comes out swinging.
Wins,
so like,
runner up.
It don't look like it's stopping.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Just what a really cool thing. What would be really impressive is, and I don't see it ever happening, but a perfect season in a class car. Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah, the Peters 792.
That's as close as it gets, right? That's 7 wins, 1 run, 7 wins and 1 semi?
Quarterfinal.
A quarterfinal.
Yeah, quarterfinal. Yeah, missed it by 2 round wins, it was like 48 points or whatever, but it would have been
pretty wild to throw that out there. But anyway, that just kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, NHRA in Chicago. I don't know. I didn't watch any of the pros. I didn't get caught up. And we'll talk about some other things that happened there. But any of the pro stuff catch your eye? I didn't see any of it.
I did not. I'll be honest. I have not looked at it. The 60 thing and Verge thing. We've been so busy this weekend that I didn't get to look at it. I do think
Tony Stewart won. Tony Stewart won again. I know that.
I did see that today. That's back to back and took over the points lead. Tony Stewart is the NHRA Top Fuel current points leader.
So I said this to Dylan Champion. I said NHRA realizes that John's not coming back, and they looking for another one, and they better thank God and praise Dale that it's Tony Stewart.
Yes.
Look, I love all the other ones, and Antron's my guy. Langdon's
I'm pulling
my
for
guy.
Sean every time he shows up, but it's still
You know what I'm saying? Like Erica, all those people that we have a lot of big stars in drag racing, right? But we don't have a single one that can microphone skill. Look, it boils down to promo. You got to put butts in seats, right?
They didn't even run Pro Stock in Chicago, did they?
No, they didn't.
I see. I've been looking.
That's why they had all the other stuff. Yeah, they did. They didn't run Pro Stock there, but they didn't have. NHRA understand that they lose John Force. Like that might be it. Nah. Tony Stewart has stepped right in.
Peekaboo, bitch.
Yeah, Tony Stewart stepped right in, and you need that. Like I said, we have stars in drag racing. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying from an outside casual viewer perspective, you're talking about a guy who comes from a sport that quadruples your viewing numbers every week. The sport that quadruples your viewing numbers every week, sometimes 10 times over. Yeah. And he's coming into our sport. look, it's a knockout of the ballpark. What he should be able to do and say whatever he wants. They all should in reality, but I'm just saying, like, he, in theory, should be able to do where we have guys, like I said, like Clay Millican's one of the best talkers on the microphone. He's never had the best equipment, but like imagine Clay Millican in Smoke's car. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like these, and so like we have a lot of stars in drag racing, but I think we needed a guy like Tony. We just did. You just got to have a guy like that. So
I'll tell you another, because I'm looking at the results for the pros now. You'll talk about something that stands out. There's a problem for Funny Car. Okay.
Yeah.
And Austin Prock, who has dominated, obviously, he even has this problem. And it's you give John Force's car
to somebody
team
else.
To somebody who is 20 years younger than
Jack
John.
Beckman.
And you put him in the seat. Yeah. And he won Chicago. That's his second of the year.
Yep.
That's just dangerous.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean you're going to put there's a good chance they're going to put another championship trophy over there at John Force Parkway in Brownsburg, Indiana. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Pro Stock Motorcycle, I still got my problems with that, but I'll let them go.
Did someone else win this weekend?
It's just the same shit over and over again. Like, I think they finally did do something.
I know they gave some power back. I heard Matt Smith talk about it. Yeah. They gave weight or something. They had to, I mean.
They put weight on Gage last year maybe, but like, because it's definitely like good now.
I mean, at some point,
he's won 2
like
races this year. I don't know how many they've.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting.
But like, they let him go 2 years. Just gapping the field.
Well, look, Vance and Hines been gapping the field for 25 fucking years, right?
He had a 10th.
he was killing them for a while.
They were winning, but I don't like. Yeah. It's been
I wish I knew. I wish I understood a little bit more about the power adder stuff and like not power adder stuff. Excuse me. The way that they handle rules when you have class things like that, where like, hey, we're obviously in a performance disadvantage. We need to even the playing field here.
What I get how they do that with most things. Like the bikes have always been a weird thing to me. So Richard Gatson that actually
nice
rides.
Guy. He drives that one, right? Yeah,
right. He actually comes to some of the grudge bike events at 60.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and then there's a guy that kind of tunes a bunch of bikes around here, but he helps Richard with I think actually he tunes for Richard on the Vance and Hines deal too, or like helps him with the bike. And I've just kind of bounce questions off of those guys, like, it's basically the same thing that they do for super stock or for pro stock, but it's like it just took them an awful long time to do it,
to even that playing field. Kind of wild. So NHRA in Chicago, hate that I missed that in the division. I probably wouldn't have ran it anyway. It's kind of far away for me. I mean, I love Chicago.
You went there once.
I have been there twice.
Yeah, I've been twice.
Got my head kicked in both times. Actually, the first time I went, I'll never forget this. First time I went, somebody was riding in my front seat. I had a friend with me. A buddy of mine came, and they kicked the two-step switch off. Kicked it and changed the RPM. So I get to go on two-step, just rolls through the beams. I'm like, mother of pearl, first round. Never forget that. They also wouldn't let me. TJ Coughlin saved me a spot on the concrete. Safety was like, nah, dog, you ain't parking up here. I was like,
hell.
I was like, all right, I guess I'll go back. I was parked in the back 40 then. Yeah, man, Chicago's tough. All right, moving on to NHRA and Boise. I think I just want to call this out because, man, I love Boise. Firebird Raceway is awesome. And we're hoping to do Nightfire this year. Pearson Deming, if you're listening, he owes me a car because he did not make the finals in NHL fantasy hockey, and I did. So I'll be driving one of those cars down the racetrack August 1st through the 3rd. But yeah, man, I'm a big Boise fan, and I saw Sean Clark won. He won something out there. Sean, I love Sean. He's a great guy too, and I just wanted to give him a shout out. And just Firebird, the way that they do stuff, man. Who won out there? Jeff Lane, Jody Lang, Chris Hall, Dylan Huff. Is it Dylan Huff or Ho? Did we ever figure that out? It's
Dylan
Hoff,
Howe.
right? Howe. I apologize. Dylan Howe, Brian Presler, Josh Dalrymple, Bill King, Casey Plazer.
These runs that Dylan made?
In what car? In Supercomp? I haven't seen it yet, no. Is it wild?
9 dead 2, and then he made a bad run. Then he's 1 dead 7. Has by run, he's 8 red dead 2, and then he's 2 and 3 over in the final.
That's pretty.
But he's like double on dead on for half of it.
That's pretty sick. I thought it was a double there for some odd reason, but I don't think it was. It just
they had a bracket program too.
Yeah, that's what must have been what Sean won then. And
Justin Wirtz with Super Pro.
Who did?
Dustin Wirtz.
Oh,
He runs
I
some
love
stuff,
that.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Dustin, did he
Sean
win?
Clark
He won Super
won
Pro. Okay.
Yep. And Sean Clark won pro.
Nice.
I think I saw. Where was Justin Lamb at this weekend? I saw he was like doing something. Was he at a bracket race? Maybe?
Yes, he was at the West Coast bracket races in Bakersfield.
Okay, that's what it was. I did see that.
Yep. And we're going to talk just briefly about that.
Jody Lang, of course.
Yeah, just doing Jody Lang things, right?
Sick.
I can't believe Cooper Chun's name's not on here. I gave him all that hype last week. I talked to him. He was at the Twin 50s. I was wearing him out. I'm like, man, and he let me down. He didn't win. So thanks a lot.
He lost to Dylan third round. Dylan was 1-7.
Okay. Casey Plazer kept that team together. I know Casey, the Vancouver clan over there, the Canadians.
It blows my mind that and I like him from what I've talked to him. But he's the Facebook guy, right? Like he likes to.
Oh, Casey. Yeah. Casey knows we didn't used to get along.
He talk to you
Oh yeah.
If anybody did something dumb, he just tell you.
He don't care. Yeah, he on the internet commented. Yeah, Casey's a shit stirrer. He knows.
Yeah, and that's funny to me that y'all get along.
Well, we do now. Casey, maybe I'll let Casey tell a story someday. I'll let him give his side. My side was he used to clown me for the music thing. I know I heard a lot of shit, whatever. And then we weren't, whatever. And then I put my Super Stalker for sale. And a bunch of people were just commenting dumb shit. And then he commented back, and then we've been friends ever since. So.
Look at that. That's how it works.
Yeah, see, sometimes you just got to get on that other side of it. You got to get back on the other side of it. We're all human, right? It is what it is. So if I hate you today, I might not hate you next week. Who's to say? We'll find out.
Yeah, Cooper was 24 dead 8.
24 dead 8, no good. 32 total. Load it up.
For speed.
What did he go?
153. Shut it down.
He did shut it down, but he's not. So he killed 13, 15 mile an hour maybe. He's not a big mile an hour. He's a 490 guy. Yeah, he's a 490 guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. The West Coast, as we stay out there, West Coast bracket races. That's old Chris.
Is it Forsyth's race? I didn't know
Forsyth's deal. Yeah, right. West Coast bracket race. They were at Bakersfield. I'll tell you what. Gene Kelly texted me a picture yesterday. Let me see if I can find this comment that he sent me. He sends me a picture. Jacob Stallworthy. I don't know. I think that's his name. Yeah. Jacob Stallworthy puts it in the sand. Mind you, this is in California, and all I see is trees and corn. But this dude's in a field. I'm gonna share this. Maybe you can see it there.
Yes.
He puts it. They get it fixed, and he races it.
Hell yeah.
I was like, dude. But he went. Unfortunately, I'm glad he's okay. But he went 435. No brakes went out on him. Unfortunately, 430. I cannot even imagine try. Like, what do you do? Grab the trans brake, maybe throw it in first, and throw the chutes.
I will say this: Chuck Bohannon, baddest, the smartest dude in a race car for when something goes wrong.
Sure.
But you got to think about this. He was on that dude made an 8th mile run on a quarter-mile track, so he had a lot of time.
Had a lot more time, sure.
Not that it was a good. Not that having more time might be the bad thing, right? You got too much time, I think. Dad did it at Columbus one year, and on the quarter, he dropped his guy and let off the brake, and when he went back to it, it was nothing. He had already shut the car off.
Oh.
He fires it back up, pulls it in low, puts it in high, back and forth from low to high.
Yeah, trying to get it to gear to do something. Yeah.
Mid-turn. Yeah, mid-turn.
My God, I would have panicked. I don't know what I would have done, honestly.
Especially if the car's shut off. I'm going for the ride.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done there. I would have been trying to hold on, I guess, but I don't know, man. I would have tightened my seatbelts a lot. I keep mine pretty tight, but I'd have been yanking on them things.
Yeah. Jeremy Mudd told me that one time at Stanton. He went, he crossed the finish line, realized he had no brakes. He said he rolled the window down, he grabbed the seatbelts and pulled them real tight and waved at the EMT to just follow him.
Yeah.
He was going
oh, my God. That is scary. But yeah, the West Coast bracket races. I didn't see who all won, but I know Chris Forsyth in that group. It's cool that they went to Bakersfield, man. They do Tucson, Bakersfield. I think they have one more.
The only thing, I applaud him 100%. I know that deal, even if it went flawlessly and every West Coast racer showed up, at this point, there's not it's a 400 car field. He's the only guy out there doing that. Yeah. Trying, and that's awesome. I wish I could work it out to where I want to try to make the early one. There's an early one, right? In the year.
The Tucson one's early in the year. Yeah, the West Coast.
I'd love to just support him to show the appreciation for what he does. I mean, it's not an easy job, especially where he does it and how he does it.
I can't imagine, man. I think it's got to be tough, but I don't know. I honestly, I don't know how anybody lives in California and tries to race. There's like 2 racetracks left. Sonoma doesn't open except for the National.
Yeah, they don't do anymore. I know, like when Kyle was still alive, they had a bracket program.
Yeah, and
there,
that's gone now. They don't do that at all. It's just the National, maybe the Divisional, and the Divisional's like the week before the National or something.
But that's kind of new. Like I don't think that's an every thing.
Right.
Maybe.
So, not easy out there, man. So yeah, applaud him for all the work that he does to make that happen out there. All right, last one for the headlines: the GABR, man, Great American Bracket Race Team Race. As expected, maybe sometimes the Williams brothers are on a heater.
I love it. Okay, because Troy's the guy. Like Troy. He's your Undertaker or your John Cena or your guy that you want to win that because, like he's gonna go around the pits at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "Hey, y'all thought you were good?
Yeah.
Me and my brother just used our 2 kids to whip your ass."
Yeah. Unbelievable, right?
And of course we both know that their kids don't suck either.
Right, exactly.
But like
it's crazy.
It's the Troy thing, and like he's the perfect candidate for it. Always gonna be. And I love those guys.
Yeah.
I think some of the best to ever sit in a race car, and they proved it.
Yeah.
The format of that deal, like that's a home run for Britt and Galen. I love it.
Yeah, man, I would love to do I've never done it. Maybe next year we'll do TB promotions. It'd be me, you, Brian. We'll get Jeb in something, and we'll take Derek as well.
I think we're definitely first round runner-ups at that point, but we'll try.
I mean, I'm definitely going to take it. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not the cleanup hitter, right? I'm the guy you send in. Look, I am the best pinch hitter in Nashville, but that's for songwriter rounds, not for drag race. Ain't nobody ever been like, "Hey, man, we really need you to come in and close this deal."
I'll never. It's funny. Troy told me. Troy and I we had rained out a race one day, and we went to a bar, and they had a couple pool tables there.
Sure.
And we're just hanging out, having a good time. And he's like, "You want to play pool?" I said, "Troy, I can't hit the ball. Okay, it's not a good pool player at all."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, I'll teach you." So for like 2 hours, right? Like me and him and a few other guys, like he just showed me how to play pool. And a couple guys come in and they're like, "Hey, y'all want to play for money?" And Troy's like, yeah. And he looks at me and he says, "Tyler, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, I'll put you on my racing team. But you are not on my pool playing team." And I said, "Thank God, didn't want to be." And I handed him a stick.
Thank God, didn't want to.
Yeah. I was like, "You don't realize that's the coolest thing somebody's ever said to me."
That's incredible. I love that. That's good stuff. Yeah, man. I thought the like I said, I think it's a cool race. I love the concept. I think Team Martin won no box, maybe. I don't know.
I didn't see the no box Dream Team winner. I saw Daniel Young ran the table on him.
That old boy was out there slaughtering him in the X Super Stock car, X Stocker. Man, that guy gets it done. Daniel Young, worst mustache in all of racing. If you're hearing this, Daniel, I'm calling you out. I get it. It's the fireman thing. It's the fireman thing, right? I get it. But yeah, Daniel, he out there murdering them cats right now, dude. He's on a run because I think that's like his 3rd final, and like he can only go to so many races because he has to work. He's like the fire chief now, because his dad just retired, so he's like next up at the firehouse.
Yeah, he's moving his way up there, and like, I mean, he like that's something he's passionate about too, kind of like racing, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's something like his dad did forever, and he's done it. I know that he cares about that a lot, and like I said, he doesn't. I know he gets to Bradenton like when he can.
Yeah.
But super cool because he's definitely talented and proved it this week.
Yeah, some people were posting about Josh Sutton and they didn't know. I had to let them know, and I was like, my guy gets it done in the Kia. Okay.
Hey, I had it on. I had the Dream Team on at like Thursday. We were racing at Hardensburg or whatever, and I had the Dream Team race on, and it was playing no box round 5.
Yeah.
Josh was doubled round 5, whatever night this was.
Yeah.
And Chris was in the tower, and he's like, "What in the hell are we watching?" And I said, "Dude, this
y'all
ain't
don't
no
even
joke."
know.
Yeah, y'all don't know.
My guy works at Kia, okay, and then drives the Kia. He gets it done. He's a bad dude on the bottom, man. He gets it done. But yeah, the GABR, like I said, overall I thought was cool. I like their concept. Seems kind of cool. So, all right, we're coming up on an hour. We're gonna get into our last topic. Well, before we get to our last topic, comp combo of the week. You got anything cool for me?
Oh, you got me a day early.
I know. My bad.
I do have options though. I just gotta get back.
Well, I'm actually gonna pick comp combo of the week this week.
Go for it.
Double A Pro Mod. My guy shows up to 4 flat with the double A Pro mod.
Oh my God, I forgot.
So their motorhome breaks down, so they have to leave the rig there. They're from Arizona. They're at the double divisional. Mm-hmm. The rig breaks down. They fly back in this week to take it in. He's like, well, we'll just race.
Yeah.
Sure enough, 4 flat car, but he breaks it, unfortunately. But yeah, pretty cool. I thought that was neat. He went three. Also, I should say he went 399. He went 399. So pretty cool. Double A Pro mod. I don't know what the deal is, but it's probably some 974 cubic inch blower, huffer, turbo. I don't know, but it looked fast as shit, and it was cool.
It is. I know. So the A Pro mod and the double A Pro mod are a little different. I want to say, don't quote me on this. I think A Pro mod is like the nitrous cars.
Okay, and this one's a turbo or something.
It's a Pro Charge, like 540 Hemi. It's a Hemi like Pro Line or
yeah, gotcha.
There's Pro Line, whatever it is, Hemi, with a Pro Charger, and he started running that a few years ago, like testing, I think.
Okay.
And he had a dragster, so he ran Top Sportsman, Top Dragster.
Yeah. Oh, see, they had a door car there, Top Sportsman door car.
Yeah. So I think what he did is like he ran double A Pro mod and realized, I kind of like this shit. This shit's kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't have to lift. I just get to drive around.
Sold the dragster and got another Top Sportsman car.
Yeah. They had a pickup truck. It was going like 430s or 4 something like that. I don't know. And then it was wild. But yeah, combo of the week is double A Pro mod.
They gotta go like the index is stout. I mean, it's like 660 or something.
Yeah, you have to go very, very fast.
Yeah,
it's crazy as shit. But yeah, so he went 399. I thought that was pretty cool, and then he broke, unfortunately. But all right, this is our big topic of the week: excessive braking, subjective or overblown. I'll say this, and this is why the topic comes. Obviously, I saw a post on Facebook. My feeling is, I want to say 2 things. The thing about Facebook, I just don't know if people are trying to have a conversation on Facebook, or if they're very passionate about what they're saying. I just don't know that I would do that. Now, obviously, I'm using a podcast to have a conversation. I don't think I'm calling anybody out, and won't use names, but I just don't know that I would do that after I witnessed a wreck or something. Like I don't know. That seems
no.
It doesn't seem, I don't know. It seems a little, and I appreciate, like I said, the post was like, zero disrespect to these folks, and I appreciate that, but for me it was a little, I just don't.
You think that's going to come across that way though, even if you say that?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like I don't know that people are going to like. It doesn't. It comes, and again, like for me, like I don't. Yeah, people are going to say what they're going to say about me. It is what it is.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, but I don't know that other people sometimes can handle if you're saying things. I just don't. It just didn't feel good. But it did spark this conversation. So, again, I'm using a podcast to have a conversation about it. And the question is this subjective or is it overblown? And go ahead.
Like blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
It's completely, what it is misread. Okay? Because if you look at the people who have made these comments, you can tell they have never, ever slid the tires in a race car.
Sure.
Okay? Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody going down there going, I'm going to hit the brakes as hard as I can and slide the tires.
I do it a lot, and I don't mean to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, here's the deal. I have gotten one warning from NHRA. I've crashed a car, okay?
Yep.
If it was behind me, I'd show it to you. Yeah. I have stuck one in the fence from hitting the brakes too hard.
Yep.
Did I mean to? No. Was it dumb? Yes. Did I learn something?
Yeah.
Yes. Was it that I shouldn't hit the brakes that hard? No.
Yeah.
I learned how to let back off the brakes and do this. You are, running down the racetrack, looking at your opponent, trying to win a race, which is why you're there. If you're not, then sorry, that's why you don't win. The last thing going through your mind is like the car getting upset or something happened. Like when somebody comes up next to you and hits the brakes or does whatever, and you realize, oh God, 9 times out of 10, I think it happens because the guy next to you stops and you panic and you just go to the brake pedal.
Exactly. Look, you're looking at him, man. Yes. I am the king of panic drop, my guy.
Yeah, and that's the warning I got from NHRA was I was running Decker, Josh, and Josh came up and I knew he should stop. I was waiting for it, and then when he should have stopped, he didn't, and then oh God, I panicked and I turned it a little sideways. And my thing is it's if you want to bitch about it on the internet, that's fine.
Yeah.
But to me, if you, like I told the tech guy this when he came at me, usually when they come to give you these warnings, they got an attitude.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I said, you don't have to do that. Okay. Like, here's the deal.
I already know.
I'll take it. Like, I'm not going to argue it. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. And
Yeah.
hey, if I do it again, 100% understand the rule. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just this misconception that people are going down there and doing it on purpose or something.
Yeah,
like,
that's where I get. That's the part that kind of upsets me. It's like we got to outlaw it completely. I'm like, dude, I look. I'm not holding number. You're looking at the guy who's not going out there holding 5. I'm not hitting the brakes because I'm holding 5. I'm hitting the brakes because my car has decided to do something stupid, and I'm fixing to do something dumber. Okay.
Yeah, or the guy next to you did something. You know, even a tight race. Like the Ryan Montford race, I like broke it down for you when I was in Montford a couple of weeks ago, and how you get close to the finish line and you're holding, and you kind of like, I feel like I got to get rid of a little bit more.
Like, this still looks a little weird.
Everything's you're getting to that point, and everything you're running out of time, and then they do something, and it's just like you have, in order to be competitive at this, you have to be able to, you're going to make decisions in less than a half a second.
Yeah,
and stuff like that is going to happen.
Yeah,
and does it suck? Yes. Do I still listen to dumbasses on the internet about what I did 12 years ago? Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it does bother me. This is something like,
100%.
If what I'm saying now bothers somebody, I'm sorry.
It's not about, look, this is, like I said, this is why we're having that conversation. I think that every situation, and this is why I think it's subjective. It is to have a rule in your rule book that says excessive, the first thing it should say is this rule is subjective based on the race director's understanding. There is no objective way to rule this thing.
And this is coming from, two things I want to point out. I know why this conversation came up.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you if that's what he did or not. Don't have a clue. Raced with the guy for years. He's a bad dude in the race car. And
here's why I say it's a parts failure. Larry Hodge been racing a long time.
Yeah, and doesn't drive aggressive.
Not an aggressive driver. Did he hit the brakes? Probably, but the fact that it did what it did probably says there's a mechanical failure.
Yeah, he's way over towards the center, like dropping out of the groove. Like Dragway 42 is a great racetrack. We raced for a lot of money there. Yeah, it's great. But that's one place that comes to mind. I've dropped out of the groove there. Yeah, and you go for a ride without realizing.
And I think
you're looking over. You get over towards the center line. Yeah, you hit the brakes just a little bit, and because you're over here, 10 feet, it does something it's not supposed to do. And who knows if that's what it was, like you said, parts failure or whatever. Yeah.
That's my biggest thing is that people make a lot of, and like everyone makes comments about something, or comments and not necessarily commentary. Like, again, we have a platform. We're discussing. This is a discussion. I'm not making a judgment. People are making judgment comments on something that they weren't there. They don't know the rule. They're basic. And I get it. Like I said, I'm not knocking the dude who post. It is what it is. If you're going to post it, whatever. But the people commenting and just like, I think it's so overblown out of proportion that they're not. I don't think they're thinking of being in a race car. They're making that assumption from 30,000 feet and 2020, hindsight. They're like, well, you know what I'm saying? And it makes it tough.
Nobody has ever, like, I'm trying to put this in, like, I'm going to use my buddy Jerry Emmons as an example. Because he's always the one that they post on the internet. You should throw this guy out. And if you want to throw him out, that's fine. And I don't think Jerry would really argue that. But of all the times that we've seen, these videos get posted where somebody stops and it gets close, right? Yeah. What do you think the driver just goes back to the trailer like nothing happened? Like, it scares you, okay? But at the end of the day, these guys want to win these races. It's not like it's just mind-boggling to me that when they post this stuff on the internet to like have a discussion, which to me this platform is totally different. Number one, this is an hour long. Yeah. Okay, they're gonna have to search through here for an hour. Like, even when we post it on
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. I know what you mean.
If they post on Facebook to get reacted comments. Yeah. Somebody like me or some young racer can scroll through and see everybody's opinion. Yep. That's not cool.
That's where I have a hard time with it, where I'm like, I don't think this is why I don't think it's the right play. Like, it's not a statement, right? He's not making a statement. It's now become a conversation where everybody's involved and like other people are saying things. And it's like, you guys are commenting on someone's situation that's not your situation. Like, you weren't in it. I talked with Logan, after me and Logan, I asked him, I'm like, hey, are you cool if I put this in the video? Like, his car, you could see the GoPro rock back. I mean, I was like, are you cool with that? Like, he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I wasn't trying to do that. He's like, it just,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Wild, like, and I know even me saying this 5 times ain't gonna matter. Like, there's people that just truly believe, well, you shouldn't drive aggressively like that. Well, let me tell you something. If I don't, there is 25 other guys here that are going to beat my ass, and I'm not here to lose. Period.
I think that's the thing is like, this isn't, and NASCAR guys tell you the same thing. Like, listen, man, I'm not trying to wreck you. But if it is between winning and wrecking you, there's a good chance I'm going to wreck you. And like, I'm not saying this is the same thing, but like,
it is the same
in your
thing.
mind, take out the wreck part and just say if it means do I have to drive aggressively to win, I will drive aggressively to win.
Now, does driving aggressively mean that I'm going to lock the brakes? No. It means that in a situation, in a tight race, when you're getting down there,
you're going to do what you got to do.
And
what
like
you think is best.
It's instinct to do that.
Yes.
If you want to win races, that's it, I guess. Like, it's not even a decision. It's not even a thought. Okay, It is a reaction.
Yep.
And it gets you in trouble sometimes. Okay,
and that's kind of why I wish that Facebook, these people are reacting comments. Maybe there should be some ramifications for people reacting like that.
Really nice is if they realize that the reaction feeling that they had to make that dumbass comment is the same feeling that somebody had.
Right. Wrecking his car.
Happen. Yeah. I mean, my crash looked pretty similar to Larry's.
Yeah.
I was in the other lane, and I got, I killed more speed before I got there. I didn't hit quite as his looked violent.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it's like that's why I think like the comments seem a little bit, and obviously I saw the comments somewhere like we slowed the video down. We looked at him like, man, unless he posted a GoPro that was connected to his brake foot and it says he jumped on the binders with both feet, I don't think we're having the same conversation.
If it was in car and you heard the motor die, like you've done it enough times, like it goes, it's an eerie feeling.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
It's not
fun.
Like
now, especially since I've crashed doing it, like it still sticks with me.
Yeah.
That like, when I'm gonna stop, like I'm thinking about all the stuff because, like once again, I'm not trying to do it, but I know like this shit hurts. Don't do that no more if you can keep from. But like even crashing something, I still have myself. I can name 3 times that when it's come back up, you're like, oh, whoa, that was dangerous.
Exactly.
And, I do hate the negative on the internet, like acting like somebody made a mistake that they didn't. I really don't even, like when I was younger, I called it making a mistake. But it's just like, what do they say in NASCAR? Like, that's just short track racing. Like, to me, sorry. This is my belief, and anybody can take this and run with it. That's just bracket racing.
Agreed.
And it is what it is. I mean, you can't get mad at somebody for wanting to win. Okay.
Agreed.
That car that Larry had, he's got over $125,000 in it. Do you think he wanted to do anything?
Yeah, that's my big thing too. Is like, man, this guy has worked his entire life. He drove a G-body Monte Carlo in Superstock forever. Do you think this guy wants to wreck his B&B? Brand damn new.
Yeah, like it's a year and a half old. I mean, Larry's got nice stuff. I'm not saying that Larry doesn't have a $125,000 car because he's got a lot of money to blow.
Well, he got $125,000. That's what he wanted.
Yes, this is it. That's not just something that he like had that money laying around building a new car. Yeah, it's just I really, really do. It's something that it's ate at me.
100%. That's why I want to have a conversation here. I think it gives us opportunity and. I commented, I posted online to just get people's feedback of whether or not excessive braking, is it subjective or is it overblown? And we got some feedback. Nobody was crazy. They gave their opinion. That was cool. I didn't see this. The good thing is that nobody commented on other person's comment about it. That wasn't obviously being funny. Ricky and Jeremiah being funny, but like otherwise, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I was appreciative of.
I'm cool with that. But like even you posting it on Facebook, you had like for one, we race, okay? Yeah. Like we're gonna go to NHRA races, we're gonna go to bracket races, we put on races. Like we are in the sport very much.
Yep.
And see these people and interact with these people and race with these people and understand, right? Like, but I don't like somebody, and I don't even like. There was a couple of posts. I don't even know who I'm talking about specifically, but like nobody that I see at the racetrack every week.
Right. That's why I say, look, man, I'm like, look, dude, that's why I stay out of the comment section sometimes because I'm just like, you know what? Y'all probably aren't there, so I don't really have to worry about it. And, like, that's a situation. it is what it is. Like I said, we feel bad. Hopefully Larry's good. I know obviously they took him to the hospital to get checked out. It's very similar to NASCAR now. They're going to a care center. I think he was okay. It looked bad, just the initial hit, and then he flipped on the lid.
Yeah, it was very aggressive and violent, like the way that it rolled and then stood.
Yeah, they had a tough go of it, man, because Billingsley, his I believe his daughter's significant other is just wrecked in comp. And so they at Indy. So obviously, not something they're trying to do, and that's not where the conversation was about. It's about in general. So let us know.
I know. Obviously, I guess I pointed it out because it's.
I pointed it out. That's why. That's why this came up 100%.
It definitely, like I said, I guess to like shorten all that, ain't nobody out here trying to do it. Everybody that has done it, I guarantee you's won.
Yeah.
Not that round, right? No.
Right.
I just mean, no, because I lost. I was 7-0.
Right.
I looked more stupid than anybody.
Right.
Dumbest person to ever lock brakes up and crash on paper to me. Okay?
Right.
100%. I'm at the top of the list. But those are all guys that anytime you pull into the stage lanes, you know that they have a chance to win, and it's because – and it shows by how bad they want to. Yeah. And that's where this comes from. This isn't like – and I mean, I might have worded that wrong. But
no, I think that's the right thing. You want to win.
It's so hard to explain this to people.
It's a different thing, and like I said, some people are going to get it, some people don't. That's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of having a conversation as opposed to a judgment.
I'll see the comments.
But yeah, man. Well, that's it. Like I said, let us know. Actually, don't let us know in the comments about that part. We don't really. If you have a bad opinion, we don't really want to know. But we have managed to do it. It has been another week here at the BE00 Take 00 show, episode 16. Tebow, we made it, man. Don't forget to check out FuelFactoryUSA.com. Use Bohannon 20 for 20% off all your merchandise. Next week, we will talk our chances. We're going to go racing. We're going to go to BG this weekend. We're going to try it out.
Yes. We got Jeb racing. I'm sure we're trying.
We might. That Dodge Aspen may finally make it out that we talked about in episode 1 or 2. So hopefully Jeb will be there. The whole camp is going. I know Brian, he's going to take a week off. He's had enough race cars. Brian and Shauna, they going somewhere else. They taking Brooks. They going somewhere else. But we will be back at it next week. We'll talk all things, how our weekend went. I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day, enjoys their time off, gets to race a little bit. And until next time, guys, thank y'all for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Follow wherever you're at. And we will see y'all next week.
Outdriven, I'm working my way to the top to doing this shit for a living.